white shirts on the pitch, running fast through the night. Every heart beating loud under floodlit sky bright. So to London stand strong, in the stands they belong. Voices echo like thunder, to the club they sing along. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. King's fire in his eyes, glory's what he seeks. With every goal he flies, rising to new peaks. From the lake to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. The pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. With all our might. With all our might.
Well,
Hi
hello
guys
there.
and welcome to THFC. Give me 2 minutes, I will return. If you just start for a minute, I will return. I just got to do something.
No, you're very welcome to the final score. This is your resident Manchester United fan on the Tottenham Hotspur, or THFC Till I Die channel. Dermo, I will get it right eventually, I swear. But you're very welcome. I am a rebel, and I will be basically experiencing what he experienced for the last 90 odd minutes, and that is complete and utter stress from what is going to be the game against Arsenal. But do let us know your thoughts on Tottenham Hotspur versus Bournemouth, what you thought were the key pitfalls, what you thought was the difference maker in getting a point today against Bournemouth, having surrendered the lead to Bournemouth. But Wayne is first in the chat to say that was a golden shower of a performance. Vicario, Spence, and Obert were the only pluses for me. Embarrassing. But just while Dermo is getting the housekeeping sorted, there is a resident actor, that is Cillian O'Connor, star of I'm a Spurs fan, get me out of here, My Right Foot, and the ever popular I can't believe it's not butter. And he's going to tell you about show sponsors VPN.
Let me talk to you. A little reference there. But I'm going to stop messing about. I'm going to talk to you about private internet access, the best VPN in the land. Now, when you're online, you may not realize, but all of your data is there for the taking by anybody. With a VPN such as private internet access, your data is safe and secure, streamlined, and nobody else can get hold of it. That's why I use one anyway. VPN's very easy to use, private internet access. All you got to do is log on your phone, select where you want to be. So I want to be in America, and I click go, and there we are. You can also link up your devices to it from your phone if that is easier for you. It's available on a lot of platforms as well. As you can see, you can use it for a very, very big range of things. So that's even better as well. You can use it, like I said, on all your devices, smartphone, tablets, gaming consoles, and stick it on your modem. And it's unlimited devices. One equals all. It's available all across the world, and it works perfectly. What they do is they mask your IP address, so pesky 3 o'clock kickoffs aren't an issue anymore, and they're independently audited, so there's no logs 30 million customers, and 4.5-star Trustpilot rated excellent review. Private internet access. Get yours now.
There you go. That is the best deal in town. €45 for 2 years free, plus 4 months free on top of that. Even our resident Man United fan here, our resident here, Rebel, even's considering getting it because he knows it's the best VPN around. And I know it's €45 plus VAT. You're looking around €50, but it's still cheaper than NordVPN. It's safer than NordVPN. It's safer than any other VPNs around. Do get it, guys. It does help us. They are our channel sponsors. Private internet access. And welcome, as Kev did say, to Final Score. This is where you have your chance to come on and have your say. We put the link into the members chat in our WhatsApp group. So if you are a member there, you can come on and have your say. We'll bring you on and we would be delighted to talk to you.
Can I just briefly interject because this is pertinent to the goings on of Spurs. I don't know if you caught much of it, but after the Tottenham game ended, they cut to Old Trafford and the ongoing protest, and 5,000 Manchester United fans turned out to basically let their voices known that they're not happy with the way their club has been ran by the fraudulent owners, that is the Glazers, and a bit of C4 might be needed for them. But all jokes aside, it is good to see that Sir Jim Ratcliffe actually acknowledged the protest. He actually turned up where the protest was occurring, and although there wasn't much of an exchange, at least not that was covered at by the TV cameras, he went up there. That is the closest that any of the owners has gotten to the protest and the speaking out against the way the club has been ran since ever, really, because prior to the Glazers there was no need to protest. But I just wanted to acknowledge that it is good to see that the fans are showing their voice, showing a bit of battle, and that the mainstream TV channels are actually covering it, because they did cover Spurs sitting protest, remember, last week. So it is good to see.
And they did cover the protests as well of our march down the Seven Sisters Road as well. I think there's another one for next week, or I think the next home game, there's another protest. We are hoping to get somebody from Change for Tottenham on the channel before that, so do keep an eye out for that. But look, let's talk about today's game. Big up to Wayne. He says, I heard a rumor that Kieran O'Connor is going to be in Father Ted reboot. Yeah, we hear he's going to be the Father Ted. He's not Father Jack, or he's going to be Dougal. Now, we're not sure which one. I think he might be going over the Google role. Dougal. So that'd be something to watch.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 2-2. Look, you got 20 minutes of it. What did you think of the 20 minutes you saw? I'm not happy at all what I saw, but you caught probably the good bit of the game. What do you make of it?
Well, obviously, when I came in, Sonny was on the pitch. Your main attackers were on the pitch, and it looked like you were having a go. But the concern for me was that I know you had to kind of sit back and defend to make sure you didn't concede a third and basically put it out of reach.
By the way.
Sorry, which?
Which we nearly did, by the way.
Yeah. But I think the thing with the game was that there was a bit of messing around with the ball in the back line, because there was a few times, I'd say in the 20 minutes, I think I counted 3, if not 4, where the defense put pressure on themselves by sloppy out balls. They tried to be clever, do the Pep Guardiola, play it out the back and charge on the field. And Bourmemouth were switched onto it. They got involved and they cut in. And sorry, just to interject again, but they allowed a fan to go over and shake hands with Jim Ratcliffe. It just came on screen there. So this is rather unprecedented times in the protest. But to go back to the Tottenham game, you just seem to kind of not do yourselves any favours. Because the reality was if that was Mo Salah, it could have been 3, 4, 5, who knows, because Liverpool would have buried those chances. Like, you were just
Hmm.
fortunate that I suppose Bournemouth couldn't kind of untangle the ball quickly enough from the feet of the melee for the ball that kind of was ensued by the poor passes. But I thought something that was rather interesting to me, and I mentioned it to you in the watch along, was obviously he bought Big Solanke from the
Yeah.
aforementioned Bournemouth. And as part of that money then was used by Bournemouth to bring in the guy that got the second goal. And they got him at a fraction, I think, of the price that he paid for Solanke. And it kind of got me to thinking, not just about that particular transfer, but in terms of the business by a lot of the so-called bigger clubs. Why aren't we finding those players and kind of going, do you know what now? We could get Solanke, but why not get the one that looks like he could be the exact same for a fraction of the price and do the scouting work? Because if you were to look at the transfer that Manchester United made, you could tell that the research, the assessment, it was all kind of lacking. And I'm kind of looking at the transfers now of Tottenham Hotspur with the same kind of cold look in it. And I'm kind of going, why are they paying X amount for Madison when there was probably a youngster around the place that it was equally as ready to take on the top level of football and take a go at him and maybe throw 3 or 4 darts in? Because you were looking at a situation there for a while in Tottenham where you had to play right backs in a centre back, you had to play defensive midfielders in a centre back, you had to do all sorts of accommodations. And
Yeah.
if the squad was put together correctly, it should be that it can, I suppose, insulate the manager from losing even your first 2 centre backs, 3 centre backs. You should have enough in the squad that you can go down the line and cover that. And it just seems that they didn't. But in the game in particular itself, I thought when Bournemouth ran at you, a bit like when teams run at us, you got afraid. You retreated heavy.
Yeah.
And there
We
didn't seem
did.
to be confidence in the Tottenham defence to possibly try and break up that play. And you kind of had to rely on the last final third where Bournemouth kind of said, actually, no, we don't like the looks of this. And they ended up playing it back to Kepa.
Mm.
And
Yeah, look, to be honest with you, Kev, look, I know you caused the last 20 minutes of it, and the last 20 minutes were probably more exciting than the whole bloody minutes before that, the good 60, 70 minutes before that. We started dreadfully. I mean, the first half, Bournemouth could have gone 1-0 up within 30, 20 seconds. Romero was nowhere near it. We just could not get going in the first half. The performance in that first half was absolutely dreadful. Second half wasn't much better. There was a slight improvement. It was only because Bournemouth shot themselves in the foot, I think. We got one lucky goal from Papa Sarr, was it a cross? Was it a shot? I think it was more a cross than a shot. And we got lucky with the penalty. To be fair, you said it yourself in the watch along. Sonny going down the middle. I mean, that could have, if Kepa would have stayed still, he would have saved it. He could have saved it with his legs as well if he kept his legs out straight. It wasn't a good performance. It wasn't a performance worthy of where we deserve where we are. I mean, you look at the league table, where we are at the moment. We will get to the chat in a minute, guys. But you look at the league table there. We're 13th, and we deserve to be there. We're sort of 11 points off Wolves. Look, we're not going to get relegated, but we do have an opportunity. Look, we're 4 points off Brentford in 12th, 5 points off Crystal Palace. We've got a better goal difference than anyone else down in that part of the team. But if we lost today, and Man United, if we lost today, right, Man United would have won. They would have gone up against us. It's still not good enough, and today's not good enough.
Dermot, I think the mere fact that we're looking at the bottom half of the table, is trumps everything else. Like there's no any other permutation is kind of superfluous to the fact that Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur are in the bottom half of the bloody Premier League, and that's
I can't
unforgivable.
remember the last time we were in the bottom half, to be fair. This is going back. How we're playing this season is going back to how we played in the 90s. It's woeful.
Absolutely. And Dermot, I brought you a little present as well.
Oh, thank you so much. You're very kind.
So on this, we have, if I just kind of bring it up on the main screen momentarily, obviously you have your starting lineup. And on the right-hand side, this is just the kind of events. Started off 2 yellow cards, and then you'll probably want to talk about that Trevinier goal momentarily. Then Basuma, I think if I heard correctly, was lucky not to have gotten a red card.
He was. I'm going to explain that too. He lost the ball in the midfield and he brought down a Bourmemouth player. Now, only because he had Dancer and Romero either side of him, he had cover. If they weren't up with him, if Basuma was a bit more forward, he would have got sent off. He was woeful. I want to go through this team very quickly, Rebel, very quickly.
Yep.
Vicario, these are not my play ratings. Me and Kev will be doing these later, but this is just me, emotional, how I feel. Vicario, I'll give an 8 to. Porro 4, Romero 3, Danson 6, Jed Spence, I give a 7 or an 8. Or 7. I thought he was good today. Bentancur, I give a 6. Basuma, I give a 1. Papa Sarr, I give a 3. Brennan Johnson, I give a 1. Solanke, I give a 5 or 6. He tried, but didn't get any service. Odegaard, I give a 7.
Can I just ask you maybe to go into Sarr a bit more, considering I know he had the shot come across goal, but what kind of brought him down to I suppose a fail mark?
Because them two together, Basuma and Sarr, don't work well in the midfield together. It's like putting the Chuckle brothers in the midfield. It doesn't work. It's never worked, and it never will work. Papa Sarr plays well wherever he plays well with Bergville, plays well with Bentancur. He plays well when there's like Bergville, Sarr, Madison in there. He plays well when there's Bentancur, Sarr, Madison in there. He doesn't play well with Basuma. Basuma is the weak link. Romero today, absolutely woeful. First half performance. First game back since the 8th of December. Okay, you could question game rustiness. But it gave the ball away within 10 seconds, 15 seconds of the first half. We could have been 1-0 down. We could have been 3-0 down within 10 minutes. That's how bad we were playing. It was an ongoing performance from Thursday. And it was only with the changes of Sonny coming on from Basuma, Lucas Bergville coming on for Sonny coming on for Brennan Johnson, who was woeful today as well, by the way. Lucas Bergville coming on for Basuma. That it changed. It gave us that more of a balanced attack in midfield. It just didn't work. The first half, Ange got his tactics severely wrong. And again, Rebel, you and me watched the Man City game. I said it in the watch along. 10 minutes, you're screaming at the telly. Change it. You know you've made a mistake. You know you haven't done it right. Change it. If it's not working, change it. Don't keep leaving it. And we left it and we went 1-0 down before half time. Went 2-0 down then in the second half. And we didn't deserve to draw today. We did not deserve a point today.
Talk to me about
We didn't win. We didn't get a draw out of that game because we played well. We got a draw out of that game because Bournemouth shot themselves in the foot.
Talk to me about the Justin Kluivert goal. What was the story there?
It was just bad defending. Bad defending again by Tottenham. We switched off. We absolutely switched off. Like the first goal, we switched off. Jed Spencer switched off in the first goal. Lost his man. And can I say, what a cross by that number 3 for Brentford, by the way. A 50-yard cross, pinpoint, into the back of into the penalty area. And all our defenders switched off. It's that game with the second goal, with Kluivert's goal. We switched off.
That was
we cannot keep switching off.
That was ultimately disallowed, though, was it brass side, was it?
It was, but if you look at the Marcus Tevera's goal again, we switched off. All 3 goals we switched off at the back. It just wasn't good enough. It's like the players are only playing because they have to play. I don't think they're playing for Ange. I don't think they're playing for the manager. There's half a team playing for the manager. There's half a team not playing for a manager. They're not connected. And it's getting to a point where this is just dragging on. I want the season to be over. Do you know what I mean? I really want. I love my football. I love covering Tottenham, but I'm getting the same feeling now I got after the AC Milan game, where I just want the season to be over.
I get you.
If the manager is going to go, all that is holy. Just get rid of him now, because we're plastering over cracks, over bigger cracks that are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. If he's not going to learn now, and we know he hasn't got a plan B, then just get rid of him, for all that is holy. Do you want to go through some of the chat? We've got people there. If I bring them up, you can read them, Rebel.
Yeah.
So if I bring up, I bring up to bring this one from Wayne very quickly. Where's Wayne? This one from Wayne very quickly. I heard Father Dougal or Mrs. Doyle. I think it'd be more Dougal than Mrs. Doyle. This one from Wayne here.
So there was a good point to the game question. I must have missed it. We should have been dead and buried when we got lucky with Sarr's goal.
Yeah, we
so
did.
I suppose good point to the game in that when I arrived in, I think within 5 minutes of being on stream, there was 2 goals. So I suppose for those of us that don't have skin in the game, aka the resident United fan, it made for a bit of good television. But a bit like when you're inside in the glass house watching your own team. Like I have Manchester United versus Arsenal now on my 50-inch telly behind the laptop.
Yeah.
And at the moment, I'm kind of getting beads of sweat down the back of my neck. I'm kind of going, please don't screw up. Please don't screw up. Please don't screw up. And I suppose at the moment, both sets of our fan bases are living in fear about the stupidity of what our team can possibly accomplish. So I suppose the good point of the game was that it was a bit exciting when I arrived on stream.
It was saying, you bought luck.
Tottenham can't do the playing out of the back. It doesn't suit, puts us into trouble. Yeah, so
does.
Wayne obviously agrees with what I was saying.
Yeah, it does. I mean, we're playing at the back in the first half, and we just kept giving the ball away. I don't care what anyone says. Ange's system doesn't work. They've worked this out. We haven't got the players to play Ange's system. He has to change the system. He has to evolve or adapt as a manager, and he's refusing to do that, and his stubbornness to do that. It's costing it. It's costing us. Spurs spent 400 million on Donkey's fact. You can't disagree. Right. We are going to do this during the international break, Gerard. We are going to go through the Spurs squad. We are going to look at the transfer market, Ange's transfer market as well. Me and Kev are going to go over that. And what we're going to do, we're going to rank the signings into good, average, or bad. We'll do it on Big Up as well, because I want to go through Manchester. I want to go through Man United's Premier League summer signing as well. So we'll do 2 of them. There'll be one for United on Big Up. There'll be a Premier League one, and then one for Spurs on here. We may do a one for Man United on MU Spotlight as well for me, and I may do one on there if Colin wants us to do one on there. So we will go through it. So we are going to cover that, Gerard. Go on. He says here,
Kev, if Maddison was any good, he would not be at Spurs. Another kick about Carlos, as Alan Sugar would say, the club is full of them. So he's basically saying that Spurs. Am I getting the impression that he's not saying that Spurs are a big enough club to have big name players? Is that what you're saying, Gerard? Let us know.
Maddison for me, right? He's gone down in my thoughts of him after he was caught bitching about the tactics on Thursday with Sonny. That for me means that when you see players doing that openly bitching about the manager's tactics, I think he's lost the dressing room, to be fair.
And Joe Enoch
also any sort of news. There's no news, not yet. And out, Levy out, Enoch out. Big up John Fitzpatrick, my Irish brother from Limerick. Near your neck of the woods, isn't it, Kev?
Well, it's the county sandwich between where I'm from and where I'm living.
So there you go. You're in the middle of a sandwich, John. We could have been 3-0 down at halftime. Could have been. Big up to Wayne Bonner. He says Bournemouth were far the better team. They deserve to win. Go on. This one for you, Gerard. I'm reading the small ones. I'm giving you the more technical ones to read out.
So the reason the Bournemouth ripped holes in Spurs is that Spurs have no middle of the park, and Romero's on the beach town ever since he came to Spurs. Sorry, that was a terrible effort at Big Jack.
Yeah. No, look, Romero. I'll let you watch the game. I will need you to watch the first half of Romero to give you thoughts on when we do the play ratings later. He was woeful. His head's turned by Real Madrid. Let's be fair.
It wouldn't be the first time a player has kind of had their eyes kind of turned to the shiny, big Spanish giant, would it though? We saw it with Cristiano Ronaldo years ago when Real Madrid were courting him. But I suppose the only difference was when that happened with Ronaldo, Fergie sat down with him, he says, give me one more year and I'll let you go. And he played his skin out. So I suppose it makes you question the mentality of the modern footballer and whether or not they're actually completely bought into success and playing for that badge that's on your left-hand side at the moment, Dermo, because I get the feeling a lot with my shower that they don't play for what's sitting there on their over their heart, and that this word gets thrown around a lot too lightly, but there's an element of snowflakism with current players because there was a story around Old Trafford when Ronaldo came back for the second time that a bit like what happened with him, where Giggs and Keane and a few of the senior players kind of called him aside one day in training and said, look, listen, you've got all the God-given talent in the world. There's a time and the place for this step-over-y bullshit that you do. But what we need you to do is to take on, beat the man, and then when the time allows, do your little crowd entertainment shit. And he took it on board, and we all know the story of Ronaldo. Ronaldo tried to do the same for an unnamed young Manchester United player. He tried to kind of give him a bit of advice.
Yeah.
And he was basically told to do one. Who are you to tell me about anything? It's bloody Cristiano Ronaldo. That's who he is. And I think...
I agree with you. There's too many players that just money for me has been the biggest evil in the game now. Because there's players that don't have the hunger, don't have the desire, don't have the care of what it means to pull on that shirt of ours or yours. I mean, especially Tottenham. Big up the Wayne pursuing for me is done. Jog him off in the summer. I like Ange, but times the clock stop ticking. Time to freshen up with a new manager for next season. I agree, Wayne. Big up the Cuba 99. Big up Cuba. It says Ange is the luckiest manager I have seen. We should have been absolutely destroyed in a dozen of games, but got away with it many times. We're no better than Wolves, in my opinion. Would you agree with that? Do you think Wolves are better than us?
Go on. Come on. Son of a...
Yeah, he is watching the Man United game, trying to do a Tottenham content show.
Sorry,
be professional. Spurs. Look, what happened there? Explain very quickly with Man United. Very quickly. It's not very often this happens. So very quickly, what happened?
Manchester United unleashed our right winger down on a sprint. He had open ground, nowhere in between. Put a ball across, and all it needed was an oncoming player to be running in, and it was 1-0 United. But no, we had nobody running onto the ball.
They are playing our arch enemy, so we hope they win today. We got absolutely agreed, Cooper. Yeah. Do you think Wolves are better than Spurs?
Wolves,
yeah or nay?
Wolves is a bit of a bananas kind of a club because financially they overstretched themselves.
Yeah.
Their recruitment on Portuguese players was borderline obsessional, obviously because they had Mendes in the stable looking after most of the commissions for bringing in players. But like on paper, I wouldn't say Wolves' squad is as good as years, but the reality is a lot of the Wolves players would die in the pitch for their team.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure
Our
you could
players
say the
won't.
same.
No, they won't. Wayne says, I'll give you your flowers, Dermot. That must be a compliment. He said, you did say that midfield was going to be crap, as we agreed to in the chat. I'm disappointed Bentancur went off. He can't work with Biss. No, he can't. I don't think nobody can play with Basuma. Big up to Mick Harmlick. Hope you and the missus doing well. He says, we were terrible. Yes, we were. Wayne says, are the Scum 6-0 down yet? No, not yet. Well, we'll keep you updated as long as we're live.
I will
Wayne
tell you
says,
though, where there was 6 goals, Cork 6-16, Clare 18 points in the hurling.
oh, you won.
Cork absolutely hammered the bleeding jays out of them.
They did. Did Wexford get on all right?
Wexford, that was last night, but looks good, was it?
Yeah,
But,
I missed the score from Wexford last night, so I just...
you played Waterford, was it?
Yeah.
No, that was Westmeath. Sorry.
I forget we played. Oh, no, we were playing last night.
Carry down. Oh, that's last night. Hang on. Wexford. So many games yesterday, it's unbelievable. Carltown. Limerick, Galway, Dublin, Carlow, Derry, Meath, Kildare, Tyrone. I don't see on the running sheet.
Hang on. I'll find out in a minute. I'm just going on to Wexford's website now.
Welcome to THFC Till I Die hurling content.
Yeah. Hang on. We're playing today. Actually, we're at Castletown, so we're let's see now how we're doing. I can tell you we are playing today. Actually, yeah, we're at the moment where I don't know what we're doing. Anyway, I will. We'll find out.
I'll just flash up a few more comments on the screen while
Oh
you're
no,
looking.
we actually won in football. We beat Wicklow 12 points to 12, 20 points to 12.
Very nice.
Yesterday. Yeah. I don't know if that's what, yeah, it's football. We won the football. And I can't find hurling, but we did win yesterday. We beat Wicklow 20 points. No goals, 20 points to no goals, 12 points, Wicklow. So there you go. Where was I? It was that one there. Signed Danso, Sel Romero, job done. Vacevic coming in the summer. I get the ring rust, but Romero should do better than that. He do. Kuva says you only need to watch the first 3 minutes of the game to know that 2-2 was a miracle of a scoreline. We could have been 3-0 down within 200 seconds. Big up to Boris as well. Wayne, Danso is alone with obligation, so he's in the summer. Thatcher is coming in the summer. Anyway, Gerard says, kick about Carlos are players who don't give a continental FK about getting results, getting money for over. Spurs have a culture at the club. Yeah, it's true. God, I love seeing Danso, Mickey. I knew they were clicking Salih. They did. Big up to Tequila. No one shoots as badly as Cullum does with the sniper rifle, Goover 99. I get that Boris Dermot told me that. I get that Boris Dermot told me that, as I didn't know. Danzo and Vidivi are better pairing than Vidivi Romero. And I tell you, want to see that Vadrich is like, has anyone seen him play? He's been absolutely sensational for where he's been playing. In the big up Tequila, everyone's saying hello to Tequila. Hiya, mate. Wayne Bonner. Hope you're healthy and well, my friend. As it can be, Tequila, how you doing? Being better, but still here. Cheers, mate. Big up to everyone. Do you? Pardon me. Excuse me. Thank you, Mrs. Tron. See, Mrs. Tron makes an appearance on the channel. This is early quotes from Sonny. I'm still very disappointed and frustrated not getting the 3 points when you play at home. Do you get that? Do you think it's the same old bullshit that comes out all the time from these players? I don't care what he says now because it's the same old rhetoric. They're going to say the same thing. Do you get that? Or am I being a bit harsh and sunny?
No, we had a similar incident at United when Mr. Harry Maguire was captain. We were nearly known as Apology FC. There were so many apologies coming out in captaincy post-match press conferences. And you definitely got to be in that script writers were involved in basically you go out, you be very demure, very humble, you present yourself as being dissatisfied with the way that you conducted yourselves, you make generic statements of non-consequential impact that can't reflect badly in the club, and you get out of camera as quickly as possible. That's my
right.
cynical
Can I
head
just
on.
say also, the VAR Premier League are forced to release a Tottenham VAR statement after Bournemouth, after controversy. The VAR checked the referee's goal and established that Antonio Sinera was in an offside position in the build-up, recommended that the goal was disallowed, they wrote. While it was not controversial, while it was not, I wish it would stop moving. While it's not controversial to see a goal ruled out, it was seen as such due to the fact that the assistant referee did not flag it at the time. Allowing game to continue after a clear offside call allowing games to continue after clear offside calls has led to some managers to fear that unnecessary injuries could be picked up due to the hysteria. Bournemouth would eventually double the lead in 65 minutes thanks to the Brazilian number 9, but Spurs managed 2 goals. So the VAR checked for the goal, but it was about how long it took him to come to that decision. Is there a point here that
one thing I do
VAR
disagree with.
takes too long?
They mentioned that managers are concerned about injuries in the consequential plays. But here's the thing. If those same managers were caught on the wrong end of Rebel put up his flag, he said Durham was offside, and Rebel's wrong. And the ability to continue with the attack and roll it back after the fact isn't provided for, then they're going to complain that, the terrible officiating, why wasn't VAR allowed to intervene? Why isn't there a mechanism to allow play to continue? So I think managers are basically choosing their narrative in that front to suit the cut of their tape. But in regards to the time taken, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous to be spending 7-8 minutes at times trying to decide, maybe down to 4 centimeters, if Dermo's nose is offside. It's just absolutely mental. If you can't see with the naked eye, once you freeze the frame, then it's not offside. That's my humble view.
No.
If you can't see it straight away, it's not offside.
No, I agree with you. We've got a few comments here. Dreadful form it is. Our home form this season is abysmal. Relegation form it is. What's the story with Mikey Moore? I just think he's been ignored now. I think Mikey Moore's generally just been ignored, and it's absolutely brutal. That is terrible. Tequila says, what do you think Andrew playing the picture? Look, I'm gonna have my say in that later. I did speak about it yesterday, and I thought it was bullshit what he came out with the other night, and I thought it was absolutely criminal that he blamed the pitch for not starting Romero and Mickey Van der Ven. I think it was absolutely abysmal how we can come out with that bloody load of rubbish. Go on.
Is it up there with Arteta blaming the League Cup football?
No, it's up there with Ben Davies saying we couldn't play because the atmosphere was too intense for us. It's up there with that. I mean, you can tell a manager is on his way out when he starts blaming everything by himself. Just want to go through as well. So that was from Sonny. This is a little bit from Angie's press conference. We are going to do the pre-record for Angie's press conference later as well. Me and Rebel are going to go through it. So chaotic game chaotic game for us, for sure. We added to the chaos. It's a little bit self-inflicted, especially in the first half. Just with the ball, we are really careless with our passing. So, look, we won't talk about that. We're going to go more in depth in that later. And this is the latent bettings for the next Tottenham Hotspur manager if Ange is sacked. We've got Marco Silva at 11-2, Kieran McKenna at 11-2, Thomas Frank at 11-2, the Bournemouth manager at 11-2, Pochettino at 11-2. Can somebody please be different from 11-2? And Eden Tezerect is at 13-2. Way! Let me know, guys, what you think in the comments below. Who do you think should be the next Spurs manager? Look, I've got two, and I'll let you pick as well, Reb. I've got two, Kieran McKenna. I've always liked Thomas Frank. I've always wanted Thomas Frank as Spurs manager. Where are you going? Who do you think should be a good next Tottenham manager?
Okay, here's the thing. I think he'd absolutely be nuts to go back to Pochettino. So I think you can discount him straight away. I think it's just a broken relationship at this point between Tottenham and him. And
even we know there's new owners coming in to buy the club, even though that takeover is happening, do you still think it'd be a ridiculous to bring him back under new owners?
I do. I'll be honest with you. Plus, he also managed your rivals, Chelsea. I think there'll be a bit of heat on him for doing another London club.
Yeah.
Kieran McKenna, much as I love the guy from what he did at United and that he's Irish and all the rest of it, I don't think you've seen enough of him in Premier League football to take on a job the size of Tottenham. Thomas Frank is an absolute monster of a personality, and I think possibly he could be the one that, out of that particular list, would have the biggest ego to deal with some of the prima donnas in clubs. So I think if you're saying you have to have one of them, it is Frankie.
Yeah, I think so. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Guys, that is final score. We have drawn 2-2 with Bournemouth. Not a great result. Not a great game. Very poor. We've got all the build-up now next week to Thursday. Me and Kev will be doing some build-up probably. We'll get some pre-records out for Tuesday about our pre-game thoughts. We're going to go over our predicted lineup as well. So watch out for that. And then Wednesday we're going to do the pre-match show. Thursday's all match day stuff, and it is an 8 o'clock kickoff. So you have got me and Kev back. I think Colum's going to join us tomorrow for one of them pre-records as well, Kev. So that should be a bit of fun on Big Up. Do join us on Big Up. Me and Kev are on there tomorrow, going over the tactics of last night's game, going over the Premier League weekend. We're going to go over the Man United game as well. We're going to go over the tactics of Ange, tactics of Amory. I'm sure Colum and Kev will have their insight on that. I'm going to have my insight on the Ange tactics and the team that has led up. Kev, where can people find you, sir?
Well, you can find me at, I had to get my finger pointing right on this here Matchday Magic on the Big Up. You can also find me, obviously, on THFC Till I Die. I got it right! Woohoo! And as soon as me and Colum get the logistics out and obviously talk with our co-partners in THFC Till I Die, we'll figure out the United content as well.
Yeah, we will be doing some co-streams on there between us. I know Colum's busy at work, so if Colum wants me to take over and do a little bit of a co-hosting job with Rebel hosting and me co-hosting while you're busy, Colum, with the United stuff, I'm pretty prepared to, go in there as a guest and help Rebel out to get content out on that channel. But they are under the THFC and Full-Time Sports Network umbrella. Of course, we all under. Guys, we'll be out. We'll pre-record to be out later. Player of we've got what got coming out later, Kev? What records we got tonight?
Just a quick commentary. Arsenal are on a break, ball through, and luckily went to the right and wide. But yeah, what we've got coming out later is obviously we're going to discuss Ange Ball. We're going to have I suppose a deep dive. I'm actually quite looking forward to the tearing apart of the misspent transfer funds of both our clubs, because I reckon we could probably put together quite a turgent 11 of absolute transfer flops between the two clubs. And maybe we might do that. Maybe we'll put together the stinker 11 from the last, I don't know, 4 years of transfers.
Yeah, I think so. We will. Coming out later tonight, guys. We've got our player reaction, our player rating show, and also we're also going to bring out. We're going to talk about Andrew's press conference as well, so that will be out later as well. Also, build up to the game on Thursday. On Wednesday, Andrew's press conference video will be out as well, guys. So do watch out for that. So we've got a lot coming up in the channel. Big up to Colin Cos. Arguably, Bournemouth are the best I've seen at Lane this season. I can't disagree. I think Bournemouth were fantastic. Philip Brady is still scratching his head, thinking Tottenham had tactics.
Well,
yeah.
What
time tonight? The pre-records will be out, to play ratings will be out, and the press conference should be out by 10. We'll have one out at 10 tonight and the other one out by 10:30. I might do the press conference out for 7 in the morning, actually, guys, to wake up to. I don't know. I might put the player ratings out for 7 in the morning. The Ange press conference will be 10 tonight, and the ratings will be out by 7 in the morning. Also tomorrow night, 8 o'clock on Big Up. Do hit that QR code for Big Up for Matchday Magic. Join myself, Colin. Hopefully, Colin is joining. I think he is. I was down on my calendar tomorrow. He's joining us, and also Kevin over on Big Up. So join us there, guys. Do get over. Hit the QR code. We need as many followers as we can to grow that channel, so we can make it bigger and the best Tottenham football channel on the platform. Guys, thank you all for watching. Kev, where can people find you, sir?
Rebel, Kerry_Rebel, here, Matchday Magic, and MUFC Spotlight.
Yeah. Come on, you Spurs. We can win. We can win the Europa League.
Up United.
In some manager. I am going to finish with a tequila. Finish. Coins. It's who we are, mate. Come on, you Spurs.